They all are so good at what they're doing. And now we have Alternate starting things off with Yo-Yo once again going in with the P.E.K.K.A Smash.
He has been flawless with this strategy throughout the tournament. Like you said, it's to Alternate kind of alternating between Yo-Yo and Ast as their first attacker. So maybe we will see Ast coming in second. This strategy seems to have been working perfect for Yo-Yo so far in the tournament. He's obviously very proficient with it. Using the Grand Warden Walk, probably just thinning out the buildings and then diving in towards the Town Hall with everything else, as he already has used the Super Wall Breaker to give him that access, and he still has another to probably get the next layer, giving him access to the Expo in the center.
Yeah, that's right, and I'm not sure. I feel like you know that I'm a huge base nerd and always trying to remember the base and everything. I feel like I saw this setup of the base already, like this opening behind the town with a double expo. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Either way, right now the Warden finally arrives at that town hall, taking that down. But he always is crossing the 2-minute mark, which means that there's not too much time on the clock left, because we said already, around about this 2-minute mark, that's where you would like to attack, and he already passed that with 15 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, but if we've seen anything from HT family themselves, and it was ICU who's currently defending, he crushed the base using this strategy in literally seconds. So Yo-Yo, obviously feeling relatively comfortable, decided not to use the Super Wall Breaker for that internal compartment, just decided to walk his troops in and around towards that area. Then we will see the jump spell towards the Eagle, actually. And maybe he wants the king into that bottom compartment. The super wizards just electrifying everything in the center of the base. They are getting obliterated, but we can also see the black bombs obliterating the healers on defense. So it could still swing either way here.
Yeah, but those P.E.K.K.A are jumping into the back and nothing, taking down the Eagle, the Royal Champion, though, still at the bottom side, taking down the Scatter, which is huge, because that's one of the splash damages which you need to take out. And we saw already many times that, for example, the Witches, which are on the outside of the base, sometimes finish things off. And still with the Queen ability, not even used, the Royal Champion ability, not even used, still freeze left. This is looking once again so good for Alternate, and with the Royal Champion ability now getting used, taking down the Tesla from the backhand, using the freeze, like we said, Alternate is always going for the most optimal attacks, always take a look at the time, and this is exactly what they did. Yo-Yo is getting it done once again. He can Warden Walk for attacks from HT family, and no, they're still going with the air, but no Electro Dragons just yet. So let's see if at some point there are going to be some of them, but he is starting off with some nice lightnings to take down the air defense, take down the Archer Tower as well, and then have the pathing into that Town Hall, kinda.
Yeah, and I think Alternate will know that HT family are dragon specialists. Whether it is the E-Drags or whether it's the regular dragons, they tend to like this strategy. You do notice one of the dragons already got hit by a black bomb down towards that area as well. Battle Blimp will be moving all of the way through towards the Town Hall, so we will probably see the Grand Warden's ability going off, just about clipping the Battle Blimp there as it moves through. But the dragons already getting caught up on storages on the inside of the base. Notice the Clan Castle and gold storage ahead of that multi-target Inferno Itsu, which is just shredding the dragons at this point.
Yeah, it's really shredding those dragons, especially with the double air expos. Like we said, the normal setup is a lot of ground expos, but yeah, Alternate already predicting the air attacks at this point and putting up those air expos. Nicely done. In addition to that, this core multi-inferno tower is being so annoying to deal with for all of those dragons, because the sweeper is pushing everything back, and even though it's not a single inferno tower, but with the huge range and not really relying on beaming up, this multi-inferno tower can deal a lot of damage, and at this point there are only 2 dragons left, and they now have to handle the wizard tower and the red mine.
He does have freeze spells that he could protect this Royal Champion with. I thought he might have used it on the Expo. Does decide to use on the Expo, realizes the Royal Champion wasn't going to get through that. He probably wanted to save it for the back end of the base because you can see with the Tesla, Archer Tower, and Cannon, it will be too much for the Royal Champion. So unfortunately for HT Family, oh, I didn't even realize there were other defenses to the other side of the base there. For HT Family, it is not the response they wanted, so it's an early lead to alternate attack.
But maybe he's going with something else, and he actually is... No, wait a second, it's Linade.
Yeah, Linade with the Queen Charge hybrid. Maybe Ass just didn't find one of the bases for that strategy. Either way, we know that Linade is very proficient with the Queen Charge. That's just what he likes to do alongside any other strategy. I would argue the hybrid being his specialty. He's lured out the Clan Castle troops pretty early on here.
Just the king. I don't think the king was planned.
Oh. You think he wanted to use that for pathing? He does have the siege barracks as well, but I thought maybe he did want to just drive him in towards the town hall, and he was waiting on the queen until all of the super minions had used their ranged shots.
I'm really not sure. I feel like a queen charge. Maybe he just said he wants to use the king for that, but that would be a pretty uncommon thing to do. Maybe that's just how Alternate approaches this, but I'm really surprised by this. Either way, so far it worked out. Now even I just want to say the Headhunter are tanking the Eagle. Now he's freezing that Eagle because one of the worst things that could happen to you is having the Eagle locking onto your healers. And so far it's not happening, which is great for him. But at the same time, with using that King so early on, this is one of the things which can happen because the Eagle is based on the troops and the amount of troops which you have placed so far. And obviously the heroes are taken into account for that as well. So placing the king early is activating the eagle more early as well. And this, well, could have caused him to use a couple of more spells which he would have liked to. And now the outside, the P.E.K.K.A. is already dead, but now the rage, now the heal for the back end, getting into that scatter. But the entire Tesla farm is at this top right side.
Yeah, the Queen did take down the other scatter shot and popped a couple of giant bombs as well, so at least he knows he doesn't have to deal with most of those for the hybrid, but it dies out towards the top. The Royal Champion uses the shield to try and cling on to any possibility of getting this. Healer's taking damage from the multi. He does have some of the miners on there. Freezes the top area of the base for the Royal Champion to move through. It's still looking like he's going to get this, Itsu, with the Queen's ability going off. Royal Champion finishes the Tesla at the top, and the Queen will indeed get the Archer Tower. I guess we will have to ask Linade whether he did or did not want to use the King, but you did raise an interesting point that the Siege Barracks often used first because it is only counted as one unit towards the Eagle Artillery, and that's why you see the King often used further around the base. Linade fixing the attack,
gone for a different plan. In either way, now we have the next attack from SK, and he's sticking to the Lalo. He just got his first 3-star against Indie Clashers just one match ago, and now he's trying to repeat that against ATN.aTTaX.
Yeah, and I feel like he is also a player who has gained his momentum through the tournament, starting off with the Lightnings into Lalo. Then we seen that incredible recovery yesterday. Now the 3 stars. What is he going to do for HT Family here? I always like the use of an Ice Golem when using a hero dive. I just feel you get so much extra value. You can see the Eagle Artillery does fall and the Archer Queen moves forward, hopefully towards the enemy Queen, which I believe is his target here. Still has his own Queen ability. Interesting RC to the top of the base though, Itsu.
Yeah, really interested to... Maybe for pathing. I would say it's for pathing, just making sure that nothing has to, like, get out there Lalo-wise. Taking down the enemy queen as well at the same time, so this is already huge. And now, slowly, the clan castle is getting lured out. And taking care of that, with obviously, without a baby dragon, is not the easiest thing which you have to do. Because, first off, you kind of, like, have to make sure that all of those super shots off those super minions are like taken care of. You have to use a couple of loons and minions to make sure that's the case. Then get them into the poison. Make sure they're staying in that poison, because without any new troops, they're not staying in there. And that's exactly what is happening. The super minions are staying alive, and that might be a big problem for SK.
Certainly could. I mean, I guess at least he took down the headhunters, because you certainly do not want headhunters running across to your Grand Warden on any type of Lalo attack. The super minion does get to work, but the battle blimp will approach the town hall. Hopefully you can get that down before the balloons approach there. Uses the Grand Warden's ability anyway. They wouldn't have been hit from the Giga Bomb, but arguably through the center of the base with that multi-target Inferno is the best call, given that there's a lot of traps normally in that area. There's so much going on here. Spells getting deployed everywhere. We've got the Skelly spell down next to the scatter shot, but so far everything has avoided the scatter shot. It still stands, and the balloons even move across to the other side of it, Itsu. Nothing going right here for IzK, and I don't think he's going to be able to get that scatter shot either. Defending Royal Champion really helping out in that situation as well.
Oh no. Everything avoiding that scatter, and now he's relying on the lava pups with those Yetis and Yeti Mites to get some more percentages, and that's exactly what I was talking about. At this iteration for HT Family, it is really tricky to get back into this match. Not obviously from the score itself, but as well from the mindset which they have to like make sure they're keeping, because like nothing is going their way. Like the attack itself, it looked so good, and then nothing split to the scatter. At this point, sometimes you have the feeling like nothing is going your way, even though it feels like you're doing everything right. And 91% is not a bad attack at all, but at the same time, it's not enough so far.
Both clans need to just focus in on each war at a time, each attack at a time. Ast not using the Super Giant and Witches on this one, but it is the skeleton spells with the invisibility, the so-called Skelly Donut, to try and take out the clan castle, as well as the scatter shot in this situation. Look at all of the skeletons. He has done it, and they will get the enemy queen, because there's no splash there. Oh my word!
What was
the
that?
value?
I mean, now we know why he didn't go first, right? Like a plan like this takes some time to come up with that, and I guess it was worth it for now. Like this entry was incredible, using the skeleton spells, stacking them up, and making sure that, well, now his heroes have great access into the enemy eagle, and this so far looks incredible. Like the Royal Champ even nearly takes down the top Single Inferno Tower. Now his king, the Ice Golem, everything is in this bottom Single Inferno Tower. And it's all about the Queen now taking down the Eagle as well. And half of the base is gone. He even has a Siege Machine left, because he's not using any sort of like Blizzards or like the Super Wizards with this Blimp together. Instead, he's using this spell-heavy army composition, which means he still has the Slammer left. But somehow this enemy Warden is not going down.
I feel this could be one of those attacks, Itsu, where you need to queue up your where has the base gone? He got so much value from that initial entry. Now the Lava Loon can concentrate through the Town Hall with the Grand Warden's ability, but because he used the Skelly Donut method rather than the lightning spells, not that you could take out the Clan Castle with that, but just as an entry, he has more spells left over for the Lava Loon portion. Now the balloons are caught in the tornado trap. They do catch a couple of red bombs there, but I don't think it's going to matter too much for Ast, because he has so many of them left. They path around the scatter, but a beautifully placed haste keeps them in that spell as they move to the scatter shot. He's only damaged the wizard tower at the top, trying to distract it with a minion, but it's not really going to matter because he's got so many balloons to surround the base. Ast continuing to put the pressure on here. Alternate attacks on fire. We knew how good they were, given they are the World Championship winners. They've entered this tournament beating teams again and again, but I feel they have just switched up a gear moving into the finals, and currently 3 for 3 with their bases.
Moving into the next attack. We have the next attack coming in, and I was already hoping for the Electric Dragon as soon as I saw it, but this is the normal dragons with just an Electric Dragon to funnel and make sure things are staying inside the base.
Yeah, it is interesting that every single member of HT family, apart from ICU, who is attacking now, did say that the E-Drags were their favorite method, but they just haven't used it too much throughout the tournament, so maybe they just don't see the advantages to the bases that they normally do. They have been using the dragon attack quite a lot, And I don't think we've seen as much success with the regular dragons in comparison to, let's say, the drag bat that I feel we've seen a lot more success with. But in this situation, I feel he's taken out the top of the base very well with the lightnings. The E-Drag has actually created a great funnel down to the bottom of the base so that the dragons can just move in. Yes, they are going to be getting pushed back by the initial sweeper, but after that, they can cruise on through the base. And we also see that battle blimp moving to the town hall. So it looks like he's trying to now redirect the dragons into the center and towards the back end Inferno towers.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing right now, and so far it is working perfectly with the dragons, alright, with the blimp taking down the town hall. Now the heroes at the bottom side as well, because the dragons in the core should take down the clan castle building really soon, so whatever's in there won't come out. And like if there's a hound or like ice golem in there or something, but the dragon is kind of struggling to take that down with, yeah, like having every other dragon now being at the bottom side. And once again, the Scatter being the MVP, non-stop shooting, and somehow, once again, surviving in this attack. It's going to be close because the Queen and the Royal Champ still have their abilities, but the Royal Champ needs to take down the Scatter. That's the key thing right now. But this, to be honest, is looking really good for ICU in this match. 1 freeze left, 1 Loon left, over 1 minute left. This is the comeback which HT family needed.
It certainly is. I feel a key part of this attack was the Ice Golem to protect the Royal Champion moving into that area of the base. You've seen how devastating it was to move in towards the scatter shot and help
him himself and make sure that he's going into the next attack with a lot of momentum, but he's bringing something in which I would have never expected from him. He is going in with the drag bat.
Yeah, I enjoy watching his Legend streams, and I don't think I've ever seen him using the dragons. Let's find out if he gets this one done. Taking down the bottom area of the base with that Royal Champion shield. Trying to get her towards the multi, turning the Tesla invisible. I feel he wanted the Skellies invisible, but the Royal Champion has gone over to them because they were distracted down to the bottom of the base. He's not going to be able to get the multi here.
Yeah, those Tesla were designed to mess up a Royal Champion trick, I feel like. Those Tesla were really nice over there and messing up the pathing, and now the dragons are right into that eagle. The multi-inferno tower was supposed to go down for the pathing. Now we have the blimp getting into the town direction. Warden ability really soon as well, just to make sure that that blimp is going to reach that town hall. Nice warden ability as he was like drifting away from the dragons which were going to the core so far. Blimp is looking like it should make it. There should be the freeze, and he's not investing any rages. That's really, really good trick. Like, use an Inferno Dragon to take down the town hall with a lot of loons. You won't need a rage. And instead, he's just bringing the 1 freeze, which is a better trade-off in the end. Now, the bats are starting off. Ice Golem on the left side, taking the Wizard Tower. Now it's frozen. The bats should hopefully take down really quickly. Otherwise, yeah, he has to impress that.
Oh,
no!
The scatter
shot! The scatter shot shot those bats, and now there's not... Oh, that scatter shot. Now there's not too many bats left. He needs to freeze once again. The scatter shot needs to go down, but I feel like right now there's just too many defense on the back end. Maybe with that warden and the few dragons still left, maybe he could clutch it. But I feel like just from the beginning, and now another black one, just from the beginning with this Royal Champion trick, this did not work out. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see Boom with this drag bat.
And another black bomb baiting the entry to the town hall there, but I feel he got so unlucky. Obviously, the dragons then had to be deployed in a bit of a wider manner to get the multi, and like you said, he wanted the pathing, which would have probably meant the dragons were just continuing to tank the scatter shot. And to be honest, I don't think anybody's seen the scatter turning and just hitting the bats. There's nothing he could have done to react quick enough to that. Really unfortunate, because if the Royal Champion had have got the multi, I think this would have been a totally different attack, given that he is this close and the bats were wiped out from the scatter. But that's what happens when you are at this. HT family keep the pressure on here, and they have continued to smash in 3 stars throughout this tournament. It is Jinmu to attack with the P.E.K.K.A. Smash variant, but already finding Tesla down to the bottom of the base here, Itsu.
Yeah, and that's really interesting to see this base again, because you might remember this closed town hall compartment, and that was a smash as well, which got played by Tompinai on there. And the tornado trap makes sure that the town hall is staying alive. Like, that was the perfect bait right there. And there's no Warbreakers in this army composition. No Warbreakers, the same entry. I'm blown away. Like, Alternate twice made sure that two different teams are running into the same bait twice. And that is just incredible, making sure that the baits or like the plants on the same base from from different pro teams are the same entry. And now we have Jinmu hoping to somehow save this, and maybe he needs to like use the Royal Champion in there, maybe jumping or something. He's using that Royal Champ now and making sure that taking down the Town Hall shouldn't be the biggest problem.
Yeah, and this is kind of how we seen the adaptation go last time as well with the Royal Champion, but then didn't really get too much value after that. I think I need this base link, ultimately. I mean, they have managed to bait in two pro teams. Great Grand Warden ability, helping to protect a couple of the healers as well as you move through this base, because with the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, we always mention how important the healers are. They are taking damage from an air defense, though. One falls, a couple of them lagging behind with the Queen, and massive damage in the center of the base. That central scatter shot surviving yet again, but the enemy Archer Queen continuing to rein in the fire as well, and with a single target Inferno just wiping out the P.E.K.K.A., he now doesn't have anything to tank his super wizards. Moving to the back end of the base, it is all reliant now on the Archer Queen, because he had to deploy the Royal Champion earlier to adapt. This is where normally we would see the Royal Champion entering from the 12 o'clock area of the base, but having to adapt for the Town Hall, it's just not possible now. Oh my word. Yeah, nothing going right for them here, Itsu.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said in the beginning with the with the match getting into your head. Like, nothing is going your way. The enemy team is always somehow coming out on top. And this just is showing perfectly how much mind game and how much the matches are getting played in the head of the teams as well. Because I feel like at the end of the day, not only are they battling for the fame and the glory, as you said, they are battling for $25,000 for the winning team. Vale, last year's MVP, flawless again so far this year with his lightning spells to take out a multi-target Inferno. Also that compartment and the log launcher as well. Itsu, he is at it yet again. I love to see it, and this time feels like the Lock Launcher is supposed to take down the multi once again in the core. I feel like that's so cool to see it. I feel like it's a counter to this specific base style, because so far whenever you see a base like this, it was supposed to counter the Lalo, which is so strong in the hands of the pros. But now, with having this core multi, most of the time Lalo is being kind of tricky. And this being said, this entry so far looks awesome. I mean, with all of the Ice Golem power in front of the Queen, she should easily follow them into the core, making sure the Inferno Tower is going down. And with the Eagle already out of the way, this base is once again looking crushed. Like, he is crossing the 40% mark, and he's still going. Yes, the Queen ability left, the Royal Champion is still taking care of some buildings, the King is still alive. Like, I mean,
how does he do it? Where is the base? I love it. How does he do this? The insight that he has to just pick apart the base, and I mean, he could, maybe not the Varch as we explained before, but he could probably just pick any strategy right here. We know he loves the Lava Loon, but he's just crushed everything as the balloons move towards the Town Hall. I love that he's not taking anything for granted either. Really precision with his spells, freezing the Town Hall and other defenses. Getting the Grand Warden's ability perfect, still has a freeze spell for that back-end scattershot. There it is, making sure to hit the air defense as well with a couple of balloons coming in. I feel like every single attack by Alternate is so well planned, and they never stop either. As they move through, every single little thing is just picture perfect. Vale showing us why he was last year's MVP, why they have continued to improve. That is exactly what Vale said. As a team, they are continuing to improve their teamwork, their skills, everything, building towards this year's World Championships. And that is a perfect demonstration. Always one step after each other, and that is something which they need to do. And we have the next attack coming in with fire
And this one is going to be yet another smash attack with the blimp starting things off.
Yeah, it's always easier said than done, but they do need to try and just forget about what has happened, focus on their abilities, fire with that Yeti blimp moving in, and has actually achieved pretty much everything from there. Arguably could have got the cannon as well to put the cherry on top, but he's taken out everything he wanted in that compartment, lured the Clan Castle troops. Now you see the Queen charge, able to take that down, move on into the base, and I always like seeing the Grand Warden to support her as well, just because it can help to speed things up a little bit. If he is taking out some of the lava pups, that could be an extra couple of seconds. And in these styles of attacks, you never know when the time is the difference maker. We've seen multiple time fails across the tournament, which is basically just when the entire base is taken down with regards to defenses, and there's the non-defensive buildings left. So using that Grand Warden Rock just to help speed things up and give the Queen the HP buff is often a nice little touch there from me.
Yeah, and so far the Queen Charge looks really, really good. Speeding things up, taking down the Eagle next. And this as an entry looks really, really good to me. Like, Fire is doing an amazing job of keeping his Queen on track, making sure she's going the right way. And now we have actually a P.E.K.K.A smash with boulders, something really cool, which we have not seen too often. I feel like most of the time, those boulders are getting replaced with the Super Wizards. Since the Clan Castle has already been taken down, he's now using the poison for the enemy Queen. Now slowly make it into the direction of the enemy town. The town still obviously needs to fall, but this strategy somehow has so much power with getting into the back and open base, which is always surprising me. So I think the town hall shouldn't be any problem, especially with the Warden abilities still left. He needs to add the Royal Champion now, and, well, still having the Royal Champion ability and the Queen ability still left to use.
Interesting Grand Warden's ability. I think he wanted to protect that one healer for the bowlers. It does mean the bowlers are vulnerable to the Giga Bomb, and down they go because the healers are mainly in the center with the Queen. I don't think it matters too much now, though, because they have been able to get through most of the base surrounding this back end single target Inferno, and with the Royal Champion's ability, I think it is Itsu. There we go, the 3 stars for HT family. Exactly what they needed. We have said that if they didn't get the 3-star here, it just added so much more pressure, but they've managed to get it. The first round is going to ATN.aTTaX, but the grand final is a best of 3, so that one was hugely important for HT family.